Stay tuned. I'm here. Oh, look, I'm dropping everything too. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 29 Palms City Council regular meeting agenda here at 6136 Adobe Road, 29 Palms, California, 92277 at 6 o'clock. And Kurt, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor Amy Miranda from the First Assembly of God Church, if you would like to all stand for an invocation.
Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for our mayor. Help him to be refreshed and enjoy his vacation. We thank you for the city council and the leaders, and we thank you for their hard work and sacrifice. Give them grace to bring truth and justice to our region. May you continually bless them and protect them. May you generously give to each of them wisdom and discerning hearts to skillfully govern the people in our city so that they may solve problems, distinguish between right and wrong, and bring order and stability. Give them grace and power to do what is right and to rule in fairness. May our community be a better place because of them. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amy, and yes, I did have a very good vacation. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Mintz,
Here.
Councilmember Wright,
Here.
Councilmember Scott,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Klink.
Here.
Mayor Bilderain has an excused absence.
Okay, we had no closed session announcements, changes to the agenda. Okay. Announcements. These proceedings may be viewed on demand on the City of 29 Palms website at www.29palms.org. You may also live stream this meeting by going on our website and clicking on the meeting agendas link. Awards, presentations, appointments, and proclamations. Presentation to the Boy Scout Troop 77 for their participation in the Cash for Trash and Recycling Program. If you would like to meet Councilmember Mintz at the podium, that'd be great.
All right, I hope you got all the information. You guys are lucky. We've got some celebrities here tonight. Yeah, Burrtec is actually going to give. They're going to actually give you your check. So, where did you pick up trash at?
I wrote the name down. At the 3 lots down on Buena Vista, and then 3 lots on Buena Vista, and there's about 16 bags, I'd say.
Oh, that's good. Well, thank you very much. And from the city of Twin Palms, you have $300 for your Troop 77.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much. And from Burrtec, you have another $300. What do you guys plan to do with the money?
Mhm.
Probably.
Yeah? Oh, good. Well, good job. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, hey, come on up front, guys. You want to get a picture?
Great jobs, you guys. And just to let everybody know that that's Cash for Trash. If any nonprofits out there that would like to have a month next year, it's already getting to be that time. August is when you see Cindy Vasquez, and she can get months down for you as it goes along. They usually fill up pretty fast, so make sure you get there. All right. Council comments and reports of meetings attended. Councilmember Scott.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. I had the honor of attending the Juneteenth event put on by Women of Color in the city of 29 Palms, as well as the Juneteenth flag raising here at City Hall. And I just want to say thank you to all the staff members who put that event together. It was actually well done.
Thank you. Councilmember Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. And I also attended the Juneteenth event out at Knott Sky Park, and the flag raising that happened here at City Hall. And again, I want to echo what Councilmember Scott said about thanking the staff. You guys did a fantastic job. And our city manager gave us a 5-paragraph order on how the thing was going to happen. I thought that was great. So I thought it was fantastic. I was like, wow, I'm impressed. So great. And just want to remind everybody to make sure you're drinking plenty of water, because it's definitely hot out there. So like I like to say, drink water till your feet slosh, and then drink a little bit more. And also want to remind everybody about Warhawks football coming up. We're getting ready. All right. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Wright. Councilmember Mintz.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Yesterday was the Mojave Desert Air Quality Meeting in Victorville. I attended that. We passed the budget. Of course, it's a balanced budget, which is good for everybody. Also, everything's going pretty good. Obviously, there's a lot of discussion. We're talking about this. I don't know if anybody's been listening, but the electric train that CARB wants to pass in California will affect everyone in the world if they get their way. So we're kind of hoping that doesn't happen. So, because what they're saying is you got to have an electric train to come in California, but there's not too many electric trains that run. So that will mean they'll dump everything off on the out states and have to truck everything in. So what's going to cause more pollution? So anyway, our position is obviously we don't want that to happen. I was also at the Juneteenth flag raising at City Hall here. Yes, it was well attended. Our city manager got up on the ladder and had to put the flag up, so that was pretty good. He didn't fall. He did good. Yeah. And then I also went to the Knott Sky Park and delivered 10 cases of water for the Rotary Club, and it was well received. So because it was pretty warm there. So, all right, that's all I have.
Thank you very much. I also attended the Juneteenth flag raising, but I also was just a little bit late for the celebration because by the time I got there, of course, I just got back in town. It was getting too windy and everything was blowing around, so they had to close it down early. So, anyways, we do have a special thanks card here from Carrie and Karen, who are put on the Juneteenth. Your thoughtfulness has been a real blessing, so you are welcome, and we're glad that it was a great success. And I also would like to wish everybody a happy birthday, because I don't think I was here at the beginning of the month. So happy birthday to all in 29 Palms that's celebrating a birthday in June, and also in the Morongo Basin. Anything else? All right. Consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are to be considered routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Any item may be removed from the consent calendar and considered separately by the City Council. The public will be given an opportunity to comment on consent calendar items prior to the City Council action. Do I have any council members wishing to pull an item? Anybody in the audience that wish to comment on a consent calendar item? Bring it back.
I'll move the consent calendar.
Second.
I have a motion to accept the consent calendar by Councilmember Wright and seconded by Councilmember Mintz. Roll call.
Councilmember Scott,
Aye.
Councilmember Mintz,
Aye.
Councilmember Wright,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Klink.
Aye.
Approved 401.
All right. No items were removed from the consent calendar. And we'll move on to the public hearing. Number 5, Burrtec rate adjustment. This is a receive and file, I assume? Okay.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, thank you so much. So really, this is a part of the contract that the city has, the franchise agreement with Burrtec. And really what this is a time annually that Burrtec has to evaluate labor costs, typical CPI, things that have gone on with equipment. They also take a look at the costs to recycle, some of the fees that they incur when they transport the waste, whether it be waste or recycling material, or it's going to become organics, to the facility. So what is the cost that they're paying? And so ultimately, this is part of the agreement. This is part of that contract. They are able to do the CPI, so this is really just to bring to the council's awareness, the community's awareness, but this is a receive and file because what they have proposed is consistent with the contract.
All right, thank you, but we can ask questions, right?
Correct.
My big question here, guys, out there is these little tiny green organic plastic cans that you have given everybody here in the city of 29 Palms. You know, a lot of us have really big yards, and this is supposed to go where the green waste is supposed to go into. Can you tell me how we're supposed to do that? Do we do like maybe 10 feet of our property 1 week and then 10 feet again and last this throughout the whole year, or how do we do that? Because it's all going to be really hard to get that green waste to get in there. I thought we were going to get a big one like the other ones. That's why I'm asking. And also, if you can tell us where they're taking the organic waste.
Good afternoon. My name is Mike Vito with Burrtec Waste and Recycling. The green waste container you have now, I believe you probably got a 96-gallon.
No, that's the organic,
Oh, the organics.
the very small one.
So you got the 30, okay. I think you can request a bigger container from us.
I request, I'll call them.
Okay. Well, you can call me. Just let me know.
Okay, but anybody else, anybody in the city can ask for a bigger green container?
Yes.
Okay, that'd be great.
And Mike, could you share with the audience the different sizes of the green containers in the event that they do have a large yard?
There's a 32, 64, and 96.
So a 32,
64,
64, and a 96.
96.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and where does the organic go? Are you down below?
Yeah, it'll go down below. Right now, we'll take it to our new yard in the town of Yucca.
Oh, okay.
Then from there, it'll be transported down below to Edom Hill.
Edom Hills in Cathedral City?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions?
No. I just have a couple of questions regarding the fees for multifamily homes. If you could explain the process about how that came to be.
Well, it's just part of our contract. Multifamily is considered commercial, and so that's how we have commercial fees. And I've actually worked. I talked to Stone about this earlier. I've worked with a few people that have multifamilies, and what we've done is I've offered them, rather than every week service, every other week service. So it's helped them reduce their rate. So we are working with them right now to try to help them figure out how to reduce their rate. I've also given them a smaller containers, which helps reduce their rate and things like that.
Thank you. That's very helpful. When you say multifamily, is that like duplexes,
Yeah, it's like normally it's like a 3 or 4-plex.
but not duplexes?
No, not yeah. It's normally the ones I've dealt with have like 4-plex.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else? Anybody else in the, Mary Kay?
So ma'am, can we open the public hearing?
Let me open the
just a
public
second.
hearing. I'm sorry.
Keep, in just a sec, but yeah.
And you're gonna, Mary Kay, you're gonna have to come up to the podium anyways, so I'm opening up the public, yeah, come on up.
Yeah, come on up, Mary Kay.
I'm kind of rusty at this. It's been about 5 years.
I've got a pen in my pocket. Hi, I'm Mary Kay Sherry, and I called Burrtec this morning because I had questions about the small container, and I was told that they weren't going to be available in our area for a period of time. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I was told no. And then I specifically asked too because we put the small one out and it had some palm fronds. And I was told that that's not compostable, and we can't put palm fronds in our green cans or any of our cans. Oh, you will? Yeah. Okay, because they did not pick them up yesterday. Okay. And so I called to see why. I can give you your address, I can find out why they should have picked it up. Okay. Well, and it's hard to see, because, anyway. Okay, that was my question, because they are small. But they told me not to call back until they're available, and they're not available in 29 Palms yet, the bigger sizes.
Yeah, I'll look into that and find out.
Yes.
I'll get your information and I'll get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I'll close the public hearing, and this is a receive and file, so we'll go ahead and,
It's receive and file.
it's a receive and a file. We'll go on to discussion of potential action items, Tourism Business Improvement District Advisory Board appointment. That would be Mayor Bill Durain, who is not here, and Mayor Pro Tem Klink, who is here. So I will make the nomination that we appoint Ben Owita. Is that close enough? To sit on the TBID board. TBID. So,
Second.
okay. Does anybody in public would like to speak? Ben, would you like to say a few words, or?
Heard about the board through fellow member Ashton Ramsey. He was talking about it, and it seemed like a place where me and my team can probably be of service. So had a great meeting with Joel, and yeah, kind of discussed the needs, and looking forward to helping out where I can.
All right. Anybody else? Okay, so I made a motion to appoint Ben Ueda, and seconded by Councilmember Scott.
Councilmember Wright,
Aye.
Councilmember Mintz,
Aye.
Councilmember Scott,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Klink.
Aye.
Approved 401.
All right, welcome.
Welcome.
Look forward to working with you all. Okay, number 7, Active Transportation Infrastructure Investment Program, also ATIIP grant application.
Great,
Stone.
thank you very much. I'm happy to present. I think I'm going to walk over to the podium there.
Okay.
Would you be able to pull? Thank you. I can just make it in a widescreen. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. Thank you for the opportunity to present on this. And so this was a grant that was brought to our attention from Councilmember Mintz. And what this is this is an opportunity ultimately through the federal government in order to provide grant dollars, to fund active transportation. Really, this is an opportunity to promote public health, to promote multimodal transportation, so walking, running, rollerblading, bicycling. And so we took a look at this grant and we identified that we've got a project that could use that funding. And specifically, it's the project that actually the council has already awarded the design bid, or the design, the design of the actual project. And that is the pathway that would go along the wash that would start just south of 62, follow the wash 7 miles, all the way out to Baghdad. And so really, as the council knows, and maybe some of the community members know, but for those who don't, that is an opportunity to provide an opportunity to exercise that's removed from cars. It's also an opportunity for people to get from one side of our city to another side of our city in a safe area, safe means, not having to share a road with automobiles. And so in taking a look at that, taking a look at this grant, and taking a look at this opportunity that we're actually having the plans drawn right now, but we don't have the funding for that, this grant is offering the ability to fund starting at $15 million and up, so the minimum ask has to be $15 million, and they will fund the construction of that path. So the only caveat is the fact that this city contribution would be 20%, or $3 million. And so in order, so again, let me restate that, right? So if we were to apply and we were to get accepted and we were to be able to have that $15 million grant, we'd actually have to contribute 20%, or $3 million. And so then that would allow us, if we did that $3 million, then to have the 7 miles of bike path installed. So the staff has been taking a look at those costs. They've identified actually so far that a bare basic bike path would cost about $9 million. That does not meet the $15 million threshold. So the engineering department is evaluating what other items can be added to that bike path that are reasonable and appropriate, that would elevate the experience in order to hit that $15 million threshold. One of the things that we're also taking a look at is there a way to provide a Class 1 bike path potentially along 2 Mile Road. We've got an awful lot of residents that live west of Mesquite Springs, but there's no bike paths, there's no walking paths that are safe for someone to walk. You don't want to walk on the road west of Mesquite Springs. So I used the term Class 1 bike path. Many people may not know what that is. A Class 1 bike path is a bike path or running path that is separate from the road. So if you were to take a look at Adobe Road and to Mesquite Springs on the north side, there's going to be a path that's separate from the road. So it actually goes road, a dirt path, and then ultimately the actual asphalt path. That's a Class 1. It's completely separate. And so anyway, so this item is something for the council to consider and provide some feedback to staff. Is this something that the council is interested in us pursuing? One of the things that we also will pursue is to identify if we can be considered a disadvantaged community. There's a provision within the grant that says if you are a disadvantaged community, then you have the opportunity to apply for up to 100% of the $15 million. Now that threshold to be determined a disadvantaged community is reasonably high. I believe the number is 40% of your community must be disadvantaged. But long story short, that's something that we can try to shoot for to see if we can qualify. One of the other things that we can do as staff is to identify if there could be additional funding sources. And then of course what we also can do is identify, is there some flexibility in the timing of us providing the $3 million in the event that we were given this $15 million transportation grant. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that the council may have.
Any questions?
Who's writing the grant?
It would be our team.
And so we wouldn't contract that out?
No, sir. I don't think that this is something. This is a This is a tractable enough, this is a small enough grant that we believe we could get our hands around. I can talk to staff again to find out if we do bring in a grant writer and find out what fee they would charge, maybe just to put a little bit of polish on it. But one of the things that we have been up against is an extremely short timeline. They have extended the timeline until middle of July, which is actually why I'm here this evening, is because the due date, I believe it's July 17th, is before our next council meeting. And so that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention and get some direction, get some of your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for seeking federal grants to improve the infrastructure of our city. I'm a lot more concerned about the lack of a bridge over off Desert Knoll. And I think that if we can somehow fit that into the project, it's something I'd certainly be willing to support. And if we're looking for other funding opportunities, I think we might be able to look at some other federal grants applications that we spoke about before to help with this that would also qualify.
You're talking about a bridge over from Desert Knoll that go towards the park, over the drainage ditch there?
Yeah, a lot of vehicles get stuck there. You know.
Yeah, because the county quit maintaining it because they didn't want anybody driving through it. No, seriously, I'm not making fun of it because I used to use that to get to the park from the bowling center to go to the park. I would take the shortcut, but I couldn't do that anymore because they quit maintaining it, and so we can't do it because it's flood control. And I got to tell you, we've been working on the one on Split Rock since I got elected in this thing in 2010, and we're just now getting to where it's going to get funded by the government and going. So,
Yeah.
But I'm with you. If we can get money for that bridge also, that would be, I don't know if it could be included in this, but I mean, yeah, that's something that's definitely. But the 2 Mile Road is really, that bike path, and obviously it would draw tourists because they always talk about, we want to ride our bikes everywhere. But the bike path that would connect the Chocolate Drop area off 2 Mile Road west of Mesquite would actually hook that all up to the high school, to the Lucky Park, because from Mesquite Springs you can get to Lucky Park, you can get to downtown, you can get anywhere from Mesquite Springs east, but and from the high school. But there's nothing on 2 Mile from Mesquite all the way down to Encilia.
Sure.
So that's really where I would, obviously I'd like staff to take a look at.
Definitely, but those areas aren't disadvantaged. When you look at the map of the disadvantaged census blocks, it's actually the 4 corners. And so,
Isn't it the whole city though?
no, they're done by census blocks.
I think that based on my interpretation of the grant, it is an evaluation of the entire city. Is the entire city a disadvantaged community? It doesn't drill down to just a census block, whole city, right? And so then, as that whole city, are we a whole city, right? Because this active transportation plan would not be for just one area, right? This would be a citywide by virtue of it being 7 miles. That's going to touch multiple districts, and many census blocks. So, my interpretation is that would be a citywide evaluation.
I'm stuck on the 3 million.
Okay.
Because we're looking for money for the animal shelter, but where we're gonna get 3 million from?
That's fair. I wonder if this could be also maybe be a discussion where if staff could identify alternate funding sources, like I said, maybe a delayed payment plan or something to that effect, where we do try to offset that, because clearly that is a significant pill to swallow. But at least if there's an openness to staff being creative and kind of chasing that down, we can look into that. And ultimately, we may determine that, nope, Stone, you've got to write a $3 million check, or you've got to contribute $3 million right up front, and it just may be a deal killer. But at least it's something that we can look at if the council so desires.
Yeah, I agree with that, because you're getting closer to Mesquite Springs, and everybody knows I want a bike path down that road. But
Yes, sir.
but yeah, I definitely agree with looking at alternatives to the 3 million.
Very good. Yeah, in fact, actually, just within the last 48 hours, I talked to potential funding source. Don't know if it's going to materialize, but literally within the last 48 hours, had a discussion. Is there a way to kind of, lessen the amount that the city would have to contribute?
I hear you. Wait, so I appreciate what everybody's saying, and you guys are going to hate me for saying this, but I got to say this one. That's going to touch every district except for my district.
Okay.
No, it's gonna go by the drainage ditch, right behind where the drainage ditch that you're talking about.
It's going to start there?
No, it's gonna start from Stater Brothers and end up at Baghdad, all along the, see, you remember how we did this one right here, along the drainage ditch?
Okay.
That's where this bike path is gonna go, all the way from Stater Brothers, all the way to Baghdad, off Amboy Road.
On 2 Mile?
No,
No, I'm
no,
so
along the
confused. Okay.
drainage ditch, the ditch itself.
Adding 2 miles to get.
No, also, because it's 9 for that, and then, adding the bike path on 2 Mile would get us into the other threshold. But, it's gonna go through everybody's district and.
Okay, I'm okay.
Very good.
Don't leave me out.
Maybe not me. No.
Yeah.
So real quick, and I know that we discussed this back when, but we also were discussing a bike path to go from 29 Palms to Yucca Valley, and maybe we could see if the Copper Mountain College has something that get to go to Copper Mountain College with the bike path, because that would be,
actually a
we have
great
all these
idea.
young people that love bike riding, and they could just ride their bike to school and come back and.
I think that's a
Something to look
great
at.
idea. Yeah, thank you very much. Exceptional. So that was not something that we had contemplated.
Be something else. Maybe they can make that 2 mile one go through the mountains up to Copper Mountain College.
I don't know.
That'll give them real good exercise. Going up the
See,
mountain.
obviously, the main thing is the bike
No,
path, we've already
straight
paid
out
for
from
the
2 Mile,
plans,
those
and
mountains that
obviously,
run-
staff has already worked on looking at 2 Mile Road, so, I mean, as far as in the future, so.
That I think is one of the unique things about this grant is the fact that it happens to be for something that there's already significant momentum on, right? As opposed to just starting from something from scratch. Here, this is something that the council's been working on, staff's been working on for probably 2 years. And so, just that.
So, I think it's a good idea. I always think it's a good idea if we can get some money to help with infrastructure. We have a lot of needs in our city, and we don't have a lot of revenue, and so I'm okay with it. I think that we should, give staff direction to look into it, and if you feel the need that this is something, because it's a short timeline, I think that you should go after it. But if we're not able to come up with that $3 million because we're not qualified as a disadvantaged community, then I'm not going to support it.
Well, then we have to have different discussion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. Well, I appreciate the direction. I think that I've got a good sense of your thoughts, so I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Anybody in the audience wish to comment on this? Okay.
Oh, sure.
Hey everybody, it's Councilman. It's good to see you again. I actually wrote an introduction.
Could you please put your name for the record?
Oh, sorry, Joseph Carter. I live on Casita Drive, right by the proposed bike path, and I think it's a great idea. I just wanted to say that I'm deeply in support of that. It's a wonderful plan, and thumbs up. What Councilman Scott was saying about that bridge, though. I'm not saying that it should be tied together, but I'm glad to hear it brought up because I completely understand what you're saying, Mr. Mintz, about being difficult with the county and whatever. But people get stuck there every day. You just watch them drive in like a glue trap. It's honestly kind of funny. The best one was it was raining one day. We were having a storm, and some guy zoomed in there at like 40 miles an hour and literally launched like Dukes of Hazzard and landed 20 foot into the sand trap. So it would be really awesome if something could be done about that too. But
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right. And that was just kind of a direction that we had. There's no voting on that.
Yes, sir, and I can actually just add something that Mr. Carter had to say, and Councilmember Scott. In terms of the bridges, certainly this is a conversation that staff can have with the engineering department, but I was out on a land tour with the engineering department a couple of weeks ago. And one of the comments that was made to me was the fact that our new bridge may be one of the last ones that we see get paid for through the funding opportunities, because they really want to try to figure out, they're no longer interested in doing bridges, and their priorities have shifted. Their focus has shifted. So, but certainly we can absolutely ask, totally understand the need. I'm familiar with that area, but based on the direction I've received probably within the last 30, 60 days, this is that the opportunity for bridge grants may be either, it is either closing or is closed, but we can ask.
Thank you very much. All right, to number 8, purchase of a new code enforcement vehicle.
I'm back.
You're back.
Yes. So again, thank you for the opportunity. I am here this evening presenting on this because our director, our community development director, is on a well-deserved vacation. And ultimately, this is, staff is seeking council authorization to purchase a new vehicle for the code enforcement. As the community may be aware, we have 2 people in our code enforcement department, and there's certainly a lot of opportunity for them to go out into the community and help the community become a better place. Unfortunately, we have a situation where we have only 1 code enforcement truck, and minor detail on that 1 code enforcement truck. Do I only have 3 minutes?
You're done.
Okay, so I better make this quick. So that 1 code enforcement truck, it's getting close to 100,000 miles. It's a small Ford Ranger. We've got some reliability issues, but again, we've got 1 small pickup truck for 2 code enforcement officers. And oftentimes, one of the things that our code department is tasked with doing is picking up debris that people have discarded illegally. And so, 1, do we have a reliable vehicle? Number 2, it's a small vehicle. And so what, over a course of several months, Keith Gardner and his team, they were very diligent in seeking multiple bids. And most recently, they refreshed those bids, and in fact, you can see them up on the screen, where there were 3 bids received. And there was 1 bid that stood out, and that was for Palm Springs Motors. And that was for a 2024 F-150 white, and you're looking at almost a $10,000 cost savings to go with that. And so this is something that this has been budgeted for the code enforcement. This is a need that has been on the radar for quite some time. And so the code team is seeking your authorization to go ahead and purchase that new vehicle.
Any questions? Anybody out in the audience have any questions about this purchase? All right, bring it back.
I'll move that we authorize the city to buy the code enforcement vehicle not to exceed $50,000.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor to purchase the Palm Springs Motors for $48,000, or not to exceed $50,000 from Councilmember Mintz, and seconded by Councilmember Wright.
Councilmember Scott,
Aye.
Councilmember Mintz,
All right.
Councilmember Wright,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Klink.
Aye.
Approved 401.
All right. Future council initiated items. I do just have one, and it might not be just initiated item to look back at, but just an overlook from staff to see if there's a need for a person to oversee the events that we give money out to. Just to make sure that everybody is spending the money what they're supposed to be spending it on, and making sure that all the paperwork is all done, because we give a lot of money out and we need to make sure that they're all doing what they're supposed to be doing for that. So is that something that you guys already have here, or?
You know, actually, so 2 questions. Let me get to potentially who. So thank you very much. I think that is certainly a prudent request. And that was actually something that was covered during this morning's staff meeting, was the council's collective desire to hear about this, to understand what our policies are. I know we've got a very diligent finance department, so I think that this is something that is worth staff coming up with a presentation and presenting this. Ideally, it will be in late July, our next council meeting, just to go over the checks and balances that are currently in place. And so we're happy to spend some time, and again, already had that conversation about 8 hours ago about the staff providing that update to you.
Okay. Is everybody okay with that?
Yep. We're coming up, the end of the fiscal year is coming up at the end of the month, right? And so the monies for the portable showers and the navigation center, that's gonna go back to the general fund? You know,
Sir, I can check into that. I will happily check into that and then get back collectively to the council.
thank you.
It should, right? Okay, anybody else? All right, we'll move on to public comments. This is the time for the public to address the city council on issues within the jurisdiction of the city council that are not on this agenda. All comments are to be directed to the city council and shall not consist of any personal attacks. Members of the public are expected to maintain professional, courteous decorum during their comments. There is a time limitation of 3 minutes per person. If you haven't already done so, please fill out name and address slips and give them to the city clerk. The city council is prohibited by state law from taking action or discussing items not included on the printed agenda. Public comments on specific agenda items will be deferred until the consideration of the item on the agenda. Do I have any green slips? No green slips? I was wondering. Joseph Carter.
But this is one of those good ones. All right, Joseph Carter, I live on Casita. Good evening. It's good to see you all again, and welcome to our new city manager. I have to say that the beard looks good on you, Councilman Klink.
Thank
You know,
you.
I already tell that it's your last term, that you're ready to do what comes next. I just
Is it
came
my
by.
last term?
Oh, is it?
Uh-oh. I
Oh,
don't know.
I thought with the.
Uh-oh.
Didn't think you were standing for re-election.
I'm up for re-election.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought you
Yeah.
were. I thought you were retiring.
Well, I retired from all that other stuff.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, then I hope that that's not your last term. I hope that I see all of you next year. So anyway, I just came by to say thank you. Every day that the sun rises over the mountains, and gosh darn it, and there's no sewage plant in the field over there, and I speak for everyone in our neighborhood, we are grateful. We are grateful there was an open process. We were grateful that we were listened to, and I know this isn't the last word, and in a few years we may be looking for another least bad location again, but at least now we have time to come up with solutions, and I know that we can. And I just wanted to, it's been a minute since I've seen you guys, and I just wanted to say how thankful and grateful that we were for the process, and I appreciate all of you. Happy 4th of July. You make me proud to stand and salute that flag. Thank you.
Thank you. July 4th, that's right, that's coming up. I don't think we even said anything about that. I was remiss and I did not, during the Burrtec thing, we did get a letter from Suzanne Peplow, and I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but it will go into the minutes, and her big thing is education is a key about the understanding of excessive contamination in the bins of organic materials. So it might be something for the city or somebody to. Yeah, there was a letter sent out, yeah. Right. Yeah, but I don't know if people realize what they're doing when they're still putting that organic material into their trash and their recycles. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think-
something on our website where we can have a rundown of what we have. Just keep it updated for them. Okay, so this will be in with the minutes. And at this time then, we have, do we want a city manager update?
It's only 20 or 30 pages.
Put the timer on, please.
Okay, very good. Council, thank you for the opportunity. So what I thought I could do here is just take a moment and acknowledge some things that I think actually the community would really like to hear about. The staff has had some successes that have been very impressive, that have made me proud to be a part of this team. And so let's start with animal control, right? And so if anyone has any pets, they're just near and dear to our heart. So what the Palms and Pines team has done is they have partnered up with the San Diego Humane Society, the San Diego Humane and Best Friends Animal Society. And this is something that, under Rick Boyd's leadership, he's identified as an opportunity. He and his team have worked together with them for quite some time, and they formed a partnership. And so one of the things that our animal shelter is stunningly antiquated. It is very, very old. What they do with that facility is really impressive. That's a testament to their hard work. One of the things, unfortunately, is our animal facility does not have isolation space. So when we have an animal come in and it is sick, it's important for us to be able to isolate that animal from the other healthy animals so that we can care for that animal, hopefully get them healthy, but also do so in a manner that does not cause cross-contamination. We don't want that animal getting the rest of them sick. And so really that is accomplished by having isolation kennels. We don't really have that. But because of this partnership between the San Diego Humane and Best Friends Animal Society, Rick has been working with them. And ultimately they recently, I believe it was Thursday of last week, they understood our need. They took it before the board. And I am just so proud and so impressed that they approved the purchase of an isolation center. So what this is, it's a mobile device. It's 14 feet wide by 54 foot long. It offers 10 kennels. It's fully self-contained, and it's a temperature controlled. This cost is about $150,000 to $200,000 if we were to purchase this and put this on our property. And so what the board has done is they have approved the acquisition and the donation of that isolation center to our facility. So they are working on the details of how that's going to look, but that was really just done because of Rick and his team, their proactive approach, and reaching out to a great organization in San Diego and their benevolence. And so that's just going to help us improve that level of care. But I thought that $150,000 to $200,000 donation is massive. So that was pretty huge. Public Works, same thing. Yesterday afternoon, we had a couple of the guys, Craig Stacy, Corey Sullivan, Eli Marshall, and Rick Boyd. Thanks to them, they were able to capitalize on and help solve an issue. So one of the issues that our city has, really it's unlike any city, but we get an awful lot of dumped tires, illegally dumped tires. We actually get hundreds a year. And so this is a real burden, right? So this is blight along with appliances and other things that our Public Works is so good, so fastidious at picking up. But when someone dumps that, we have to come and pick that up. We don't want that littering our community. Well, unfortunately, that pile really adds up when you're getting hundreds a year. And so what they were able to do, thanks to, again, Eli, Rick, Corey, and Craig, they were able to identify a solution where we have to engage a licensed hauler. And they identified a licensed hauler that would haul those tires away at 50% of the cost of what we typically pay. So they said, we're on it, we absolutely want it, come on by. That guy was only able to come out yesterday, so they loaded about 500 tires in 111-degree heat in order to be able to capitalize on that 50% cost savings and at least bleed off some of those tires that we have, right? Because again, they have to be appropriately accounted for and disposed of. And so we're trying to get that hauler to come back this Friday and do it again, hopefully not in the afternoon, hopefully in the morning. But that was just a testament to their hard work and willing to get creative on solving the problems. Wanted to take a moment and talk about the Juneteenth event. Councilmember Scott, Councilmember Wright had talked about this also. We had two events in our city, and they were great. One was on a Saturday, one was the flag raising right in front of City Hall. And what I really found with the Juneteenth is that this was an opportunity for all community members to come and celebrate what some people call our nation's second Independence Day. And so this multicultural holiday was celebrated, like I had mentioned, with two events. One at Knott Sky Park, great little barbecue, really good food. And then the second one's with the flag raising. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. I thought that was a great event, very well attended, and looking forward to making that bigger and better next year. In fact, Councilmember Wright, Councilmember Scott, myself and my staff, we are working on how do we take the event, what did we do right, what could we do better, and make it a bigger event next year. So I talked to Parks and Rec. They had two things they wanted to bring to collectively the audience's attention. Number one is the July 4th celebration at Knott Sky Park. So that is, as it's in the name, July 4th. It's from 6 to 9 p.m. This is sponsored by Rocky's Pizza. There's going to be food vendors, a giant water slide, an obstacle course, cornhole, face painting. The fireworks display is scheduled to begin at Tortoise Rock Casino at 8:30 p.m. And so the Parks and Rec Department have said, please join us in celebrating our nation's freedom. Second event that they wanted to talk about, again, this is just going to be next week, and this is going to be the Freedom Days event. And this is going to take place at Freedom Plaza right in our downtown, and that's going to be on July 4th, 5th, and 6th. And so this is organized by JT City Limits, and it's also been funded by a grant received from our TBID, right? So that's that organization that really looks to promote our community as a destination. And so this event is going to offer 35 local high desert rock bands, 35, and then also food and merchandise. Almost done. Okay, so tickets are available online and at the door. And for a full schedule of events, please visit visit29.org. Again, that is visit29.org. And again, this is an event for our community and also for our visitors. And so really, our events get better when our community attends. And of course, as our events get bigger and more tourists, it's a mutually beneficial relationship. One thing I did want to follow up on is the World Blood Donor Day. And so we partnered with the Parks and Rec Department with a live stream, and they had a bus out in front of Freedom Plaza. And thanks to the community, we actually exceeded their goal. Their goal was 36 units. We brought in 37 units of blood. That's a major thing. And talking to them, we found out that a bulk of the blood that they get is from high school. Well, high school is out for the summer, so their supplies drop critically low. And again, this is not for just someone involved in a car crash. This is involved for someone who's getting treatments, who's getting different surgeries. So this is a major need, and thanks to our community, we exceeded their goal. And that means that they're more likely to come back so we could do it again. Last thing here is, this is an announcement from the city clerk that the city had wanted me to share. And that is the next general municipal election will be held on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. This is going to be for the election of 2 city council members. Districts 1 and Districts 2 are up for election. To be eligible for run for city council, candidates must reside within the city of 29 Palms incorporated boundaries, reside within the corresponding districts up for election, and be a registered voter. So the city of 29 Palms Find Your District map, it can be used to find out what district you're in. Probably most people don't necessarily know that. You can go to our website and find out. Interested residents must make an appointment with the city clerk to receive and submit campaign documents during the nomination period, which is July 15th through August 8th. So again, summary, step 1, contact the city clerk for an appointment. Step 2, complete nomination papers and collect signatures. And then step 3, file nomination papers with city clerk. And then that concludes my comments.
Thank you very much. July 23rd, the July 9th to, right. Right. Okay, anybody else out there that have anything good for the community? Council members? None? I adjourn this meeting till July 23rd, 2024, at which time our next meeting will happen. And have a happy 4th of July.